YouTube. Live on YouTube.
All right, TikTok, we're live for real. Here I am.
Oh, here we go. For
there
real.
He is.
For real again. For real. We're still figuring it out. Hey, we got some new things that we're trying to do here. If you would like to know the loan packages in your state, the down payment assistance programs, I need you to go to our profile and send us your email so we can know to pull the profile. We can pull the loan profile for that area. And we will then find out the down payment assistance programs. It's a little bit of work to do, but I want to do it for all our viewers.
So, I want to give you guys a public service announcement.
Public service announcement in the house.
You cannot successfully multitask. As you just saw Lee try to get out a sentence and press a button, not successful. It's very rocky and bumpy. So all of you out there that are like, I'm a multitasker, I can do 8 things at once. Not good. Not good at all.
The hell they talk?
Proceed, multitasker.
They talk?
No, I want you to click on those buttons and have a conversation.
Oh, dude, you're going to fight today, huh? We're going to fight today. Well, what are the rates at today?
Very good, actually. Very good. And people are hating. People are hating.
Tell me.
And the reason why is because a lot of banks haven't made the adjustment yet, maybe.
Right.
A lot of pricing, because a lot of the stuff is manually done, and ours is kind of already done.
Right.
And everyone's like, you can't get that rate.
5 points. I'm not going to tell them. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, why not?
If you go to New American Funding website right now, it's 5.75%. 5.75. Here's the shocker, though. Here's the shocker. This one's gonna throw you back a little bit. They're quoting their best possible rate on the best possible file. Check that out. But it's real. It has to be real.
Man, the wave is coming. The wave is coming.
The wave is coming. How many?
Tsunami.
How many people have you gotten applications recently? What are the applications like for buying a house recently?
Okay, so here's a funny statistic. So we have probably 4 different methods that people, funnels or verticals, however you want to call them, where people go for loans. So the ones where people have not spoken to us, is probably 20 this week. These are, we haven't even spoke to. They just put in applications.
Right.
And then spoke to probably another 20 this week. And then there's other stuff on the fringe like Martha is working on and stuff like that. Probably about 3 to 5. Some of
this
Like
week.
that. That's all this week.
That's badass.
What?
Dude, no. You cancel it. I'll call her back.
Okay. I didn't do this.
You didn't do the D&D.
Yep.
So we're still going, but we have. So Chris, you paused us, dude. You just paused us. I don't know what you did. Okay, so Chris can't multitask either.
I'm doing one thing.
And
did it very good.
Yeah, he did. He would. If he did it real good, you wouldn't be in the spot. Anyway, appreciate. Connor says we are buyers flooding the market yet. We just closed 7.75 a couple of weeks ago. Waiting for my house to.
Oh, Connor, you're gonna make a killing.
Appreciate. Yeah,
good job, Connor.
You're gonna do pretty well.
Killing.
I believe you're gonna do very well, Connor. Here's why. As soon as the rates hit mainstream, 5.75, because they're not mainstream right now. If you're being honest, we do have LOs who come on here. By the way, loan officers that are coming on to see us, they're either appreciating us or hating us or challenge us. We appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much. Brand new guys, we're teaching. We love you guys. Old G's who are trying to tell us we're not doing it. Oh my God, dude. What didn't you do?
When you got to do everything and you're the guy that does everything, sometimes things fail.
5.75% right now on the New American Funding website. If you want to know how to get there, go to our profile. You're going to see links to cool stuff. Click that. You're going to see the rates. And the rates are 5.75. Now, in fairness, that is a perfect profile. If you dig into the little asterisk, perfect profile, 25% down, 800 FICO score, 24 DTI, first-time home buyer, hasn't owned a home in 3 years, whole bunch of things but it exists. And that's the part you need to know, because that's like the perfect scenario of 5.75. For most people, it's going to be a little higher. Occasionally a little lower if you're willing to buy a little deeper, and the programs allow for you. Go ahead.
Karen W. She's an underwriter for DSCR, and they are busy. All right, Karen, let's out some of this for the people that are watching. So DSCR, easy loan or hard loan to underwrite? from a guideline perspective on my side, very easy. But from your side, are people getting approved or denied for these loans?
And Karen, make sure you follow us because we have so many DSCR requests, unbelievable amounts of DSCR requests. We do have our channel, our broker channel, but we're open to others. We're all, as long as it's good for the client and you're a good company overall, then we like to bring people out there. By the way, if you're in the business, we want to know you. If you're a realtor, if you're a loan officer, if you're a signing agent, if you're an underwriter, we want to know you guys because it's a community. And some of my best friends and actual referral partners are all the loan officers.
You got friends?
What?
This is news to me.
What?
She said they're getting approved. Most are getting approved.
Really?
They're easy.
Really,
Super
really,
easy,
really.
guys.
So in like little clips, Karen, give us the pros and cons of DSCR in the chat. We're going to put them out to you.
Or the biggest
Karen,
deal killer. What's the biggest deal killer?
The deal killer?
The biggest deal killer.
I'm trying to think. I think it would be just income,
I think
right?
no. I think it's going to be the 1007. I think it's going to be the rents that come back from the appraisal.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to be. Connor, when I move back to Riverside and get my realtor license, can't wait to work with y'all.
Connor, we want you
we're
to
waiting
work
for
with
you,
us.
man.
Yeah,
We're waiting for you.
We will plug you. I'm gonna sit down with you though when I tell you when we start, and I'm gonna say, hey, listen, there's two ways you can do this business. You can do it and try to make a lot of money in the first year, and you'll probably be out of business. Or you can learn how to do it correctly, make a good living, but not a lot of money in your first year, and have a career. Those are two different ways to do this business. We see realtors come and go. We see loan officers come and go. We know what it takes for you to succeed. We'll teach you, Connor.
Heck yeah,
Just stay
Connor.
inside, yeah.
Where you at? Where'd you buy a house at?
Where'd you buy a house? Connor, we want to talk about it.
And then Karen.
Karen.
So as an underwriter, I'm sure you underwrite other files too. I mean, in your career you have. You're probably just your specialty with DSCR right now, but I'm sure you've underwritten other things, conventionals, govies, that type of stuff. If you're swamped as getting the investors, tell the world what it's like on the buyer side. Because if the investors are coming out in swarms, imagine what the buyers are doing. So from your experience, you think the buyer side is up or down?
User 254, welcome to the chat. You guys on Facebook, thank you for joining. Instagram, we appreciate you.
They don't know where they're
try
at,
and
man.
Yeah.
You don't know, that's the same camera.
It's all the same camera. We'll
You
be
over
yeah,
there.
over there. So just so you know, Facebook's over there, Instagram's over there, TikTok's over there, and YouTube's over there. So we got four. We got four going live right now. I don't want a lot of money. I want a career. Connor, there's a way to do it. We'll teach you. We'll teach you. We see realtors come in and they're like, "Hey, I just got my real estate license. Do I get my Ferrari yet?" And most people will fail in real estate. It's a very unfortunate truth, but if you do it correctly, it's a great career. You make a lot of money. There's a lot of money long term.
Actually, that's a pretty good disclosure because we're reading a lot of questions that people can't see, and probably because it's on the platform they're not on.
Right.
So if you're on a platform where you don't see these questions, we're all over the map right now. We're multicasting. Multicast.
Dude, we're casting?
Isn't the multicast one of those
Casting?
things you get at a Taco Man? And you eat it? Has cheese?
All right.
Multi.
You look like you're
What does it look like I'm doing?
channeling
What
Gavin.
does it look like I'm doing?
Gavin, Kamala,
man.
and Gavin,
Two
Kamala,
claps.
and
For each.
Nancy. You got Nancy too, right? Gavin, Kamala, and Nancy.
Done.
Those are three.
No one
rats
else has showed their
that
face
lived
yet.
up in his
The
garage,
garage.
and he smoked them.
And I don't even live in the country,
Yeah,
y'all.
you can't say the wrong words, and we get banned. Man.
Yeah, that's why I went like this.
Yeah, you got to be real careful.
What
Yeah,
is-
smoked. I think smoke's okay, dude.
I think
Smoke's
so.
okay. Yeah.
Connor bought in Arizona, going to cash out refi end of next year and ran it out and gonna come back to Cali.
Probably a good idea. That's probably a good idea. Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
coming back to Cali.
Jumbo
To Cali.
underwriting.
To
Oh,
Cali.
jumbo underwriting.
She said Jumbo's very slow.
Jumbo's very slow.
Yeah. Rich
Well-
people are like, we're not buying.
So strange. So strange. Sometimes we get people that have like qualifications up to $1 million, and even if you got qualification for $1 million, they're like, I think I want $1.5 million. Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
No. Here's how it goes.
Okay, good.
How much do you want to buy? Oh, $1 million. I need to
Okay,
hit $1
cool.
million. Okay, cool.
All right.
Then we're like, we're barely there. Oh, we got it. We made it happen.
Yeah.
Yay. Then they're like,
Cool.
1.2.
I put an offer on 1.2, FYI. So you gotta find me another 200,000. We're like, it doesn't work like that. There's a lot to getting you pre-underwritten.
People,
So
man.
anyway.
People.
So talk to me about what's going on. You saw the debate yesterday, right?
I saw bits and pieces. I didn't
Tell
see
me.
all of it.
Tell me what you saw.
Well, I saw the Vivek von Swarmy. I seen him coming at help me with her name,
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley, and he was talking to her about her donors, because that's the biggest killer for a lot of the politicians nowadays, because there's other people hopping into the ring. There's businessmen, non-politicians, regular people that come in with their own money, and they're like, hey, that person's getting money from pharmaceuticals, that person's getting money from Halliburton, that person's getting money from all these industries that we all have learned to dislike over the years. And Vivek, not one of them. He made his own money. Did he make his own money the way you want him to? Probably not. But did he make his own money? Yes. And the same thing goes for Trump. And that's why the Republicans, the deep Republicans and the deep Democrats hate these people, because they can't control them.
Well, the problem is you don't have more money than the market. Nobody does. You know who tried to do this? Who's a billionaire and lost? And
Meg Whitman?
Meg Whitman. She was a billionaire. Is a billionaire.
Ross Perot?
Yeah. Ross Perot. Ross Perot did some stupid shit though. I think if he could do it over again, he probably could have won.
Well, who did it before him?
I think Teddy Roosevelt did a version of it once.
Teddy Roosevelt was independently wealthy?
I think so, yeah. And I'm not really sure on that one, but you know who keeps channeling it is Kennedy. Kennedy keeps channeling like the people who ran independent, because you know Kennedy jumped out of the Democratic Party, and he's running independent.
Why did he jump out of that party?
Well, because they're scamming people. He says basically he doesn't like what they're doing, and he can't stand behind what they're doing.
So how do you get
that?
How do you get the support of the DNC?
Play to their donors. I mean, that's almost always what it is.
And
but
if
that's
you're
either
not,
side,
do they
dude.
want you?
But that's either side.
Yeah, right, you're right. But if you're not playing to their donors,
no, they don't want you. They don't want
DNC
you.
or the RNC won't support you.
People like, hey, the Republicans, they love Trump. I'm like, no. If you actually watch what's going on,
they don't.
Most Republicans hate Trump.
They
hate him.
Republicans.
And you know why? 5.75 rates, by the way, New American Funding website right now. Right now. That's not your quote. That's the quote on the site.
Gertie Music. How much money down? I need a first-time home buyer owner.
Gertie, where you at? What city? State. City, state. Give us that.
And what's the temperature?
Yeah, what's the temperature? So there's a lot of down payment assistance programs. I did research on two programs yesterday for Ohio and Illinois. Ohio has a good one. Illinois had one, but they just suspended it like a week ago. Louisville, Kentucky. We're going to have to dig into that.
I remember my Louisville Slugger. I'll tell you that right now.
Tell you what. So I don't say most. A lot of states have special programs that allow you to get into a house if you meet a criteria. The criteria is you can't have owned a home within the last 3 years. That's the first-time homebuyer program. That's usually the first bar. So if you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, then they have a program to get you qualified. Most of them do. A lot of them do, I'll say. And I do like to dig in and find out what they are. They turn on, they turn off, they turn on, they turn off a lot. So what I want you to do, Gertie, is apply for a mortgage, because no matter what, they all ride on an FHA chassis, conventional chassis, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. USDA is zero down automatically, so that if you are geographically able, USDA is always available as long as the property qualifies. So what I'd like for you to do is go ahead and start applying. Go to our profile, go to the link, apply for a mortgage, and then we're going to talk and we're going to see. That's only if you're serious about buying a house. If you're not serious and you're kicking tires, we don't do research for tire kickers, sorry. We got a lot of real business, but if you really want to buy a house, we really want to help you, Gertie. We really want to help you. If you don't use a down payment assistance program, 3.5%. So for a $100,000 house, $3,500 down, and then we have to talk about closing costs. That can be paid for by the seller, the realtor, the lender, grandma, grandpa, cousin, friend,
enemy.
If you got a good enemy who like wants you to stay in Kentucky and not come back to Florida or something.
Like, who am I going to fight with if you leave?
See, that could be it. Yeah, you know. Is it possible to get 4 units with zero down?
Wreckage.
Wreckage. Just the name alone.
We
got questions on Instagram too. Don't forget those.
No, it's Navy Mom. What's up, Navy Mom?
What's up? So, is it possible to get 4 units with zero down? Yes. It is. It's possible.
He said it.
It's difficult. Very difficult.
He said it.
First, you have to find the property. Then you have to qualify for the property on your own. And then We put the down payment assistance program on top of your qualification. If all of that works, possible. Yes, possible. Possible.
Likely?
Yeah. Likely? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
But possible.
But possible. And the reason is when people are looking for zero down, that's usually because they don't have a lot of money and they're living tight. So when you qualify for a property, you have to have not only qualification, but like really good, like if you qualified for a $400,000 house and you want a down payment assistance program, drop $100,000 off the top. You're going to qualify for a $300,000 house. The reason is you're already a risky borrower because you're putting zero down. That's risky.
But here is a for sure.
Tell me.
What's up, Debbie? Here's a for sure. If you put your down payment, you can use the other 3 units as income.
That's huge.
If you put your down payment.
Yeah.
So depending on the price of your property wreckage, I don't know where you're at. This property could be $200,000. It could be $2 million. But depending on the price of your property, that helps you a ton. And here's the next step. You only have to live in the property for 1 year. So you're going to live in one of the 4 units. You only have to live in it for 1 year, and then you rent out that 4 units, and all of this is income. You got to pay your mortgage, of course, but all this is income.
So 5.75% on the New American Funding website. That's what they're actually putting out. The way you can find it is go to our profile, go to links to cool stuff. On that, you'll see New American Funding, today's pricing. So that's today's pricing, 5.75%.
Okay, so check this out. We, a couple months ago, Lee and I had this bright idea to start a whole new business and go down this other path. Still running the real estate business, of course. And, you know, making extra money. There's reasons for it. He'll tell you the story, I'm sure of it. But here's what we have identified, is that many people are watching us. And many people are saying the same thing in this industry. Many people. But it's solid. And it's solid because in California, the average home price is how much?
About 800,000.
That's who has that kind of money?
That's a lot. That's
Even
a lot.
2-3 incomes can't afford that.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So what do you do if you can't get a second job? What do you do if you have kids? What do you do if they're in sports? What do you do if you're taking care of your parents? You don't have a lot of time to go to another building and spend another 8 hours a day. You side hustle. And we've been telling this for a few months now, and everyone's jumping on the boat because it makes sense.
Side hustle.
Makes a lot of sense. So if you guys are interested in side hustle, follow these 2 on TikTok.
TikTok.
And we'll teach you.
Do you have to say that right, or you get in trouble?
TikTok.
Yeah, we got in trouble. We got in trouble again. We got put in jail.
Wreckage, you're in LA?
In LA, is that Louisiana or Los Angeles? There's 2
I was
LAs.
gonna assume. I was gonna
There's
assume.
2 LAs. There's 2 LAs. LA is Louisiana or
4
Los
units
Angeles.
for $765. That's not Los Angeles.
Yeah,
That's Los Angeles?
That's Los Angeles.
Because they have
Holy
rats.
smokes,
Because if
those
it doesn't, I have some they can have.
Wreckage. If you find that
Dude,
unit,
give me the address.
I know.
I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, he's gonna buy it. He's
It's
gonna compete
gone,
against
dude.
you.
It is
He's gonna
gone,
compete
Wreckage.
He's gonna pay cash.
Cash money. Can I borrow some?
Hey, Wreckage, we need to qualify you. If that's the key and you have a 4 unit, we need to qualify you because we
Like
might be able
now.
to make a program.
If that's a real thing, it's
Make a
not
program,
lasting.
yeah. And there's an underwriter in here right now that does DSCR loans. That's actually a candidate for DSCR.
Yep.
What is DSCR?
Debt service.
Something R.
I forget. What was the underwriter's name? What's your name, underwriter? Karen. What does
you still here?
DSCR stand
Still
for?
here, Karen?
Credit ratio. Debt service credit ratio.
There we go. Credit ratio.
Thanks, Karen.
So, for those of you on Facebook, appreciate you. Oh, sorry, that's right. One camera.
Just go like this.
But I want to. It's kind of funny.
all right.
So, Facebook here. We appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you. Instagram, we appreciate you. Appreciate you. Want to give you all the good answers. TikTok. Love TikTok. Thank you very much. And YouTube. Love you guys.
YouTube's over here.
That's right.
YouTube's asleep.
YouTube's asleep right
It's
now.
not even awake. It's not even awake. YouTube's still night-night.
Yeah. DSCR, credit ratio. Why is that so hard?
I don't know.
DS.
Because I don't care about it.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, we don't
I
do
think
a
it's a
lot.
cool loan.
Yeah, we have to broker them out because we don't do a direct DSCRs. We know Karen knows that situation. We don't do them directly. We are a direct lender. For direct lenders, we do. Dude, I'm like, hey. Could be
What
more.
was Lee watching before he came into the office?
We want to talk about it.
Oh, man. We only had a camera shooting this way. I'll work on it. We'll get you guys a camera so you can see what Lee watches on his
I was
iPad.
watching The Mentalist.
That's what you call it. That's what you call it. So side hustles, guys. Houses are expensive. Side hustles are making more money. They're becoming a thing. Actually, I've seen a statistic. It said that 38% of people are side hustling. So almost 2 out of 5.
38%?
I don't know if it's real. I got to do some
That's kind
research.
of cool, yeah. Well, if you saw it on TikTok, it's real.
Of course.
Yeah, if you saw it on TikTok, it's real.
True that. Double true.
Oh, it's
True
so
dat.
funny to listen to people.
So 2 out of 5 people are side hustling. So, and you may not even know you're side hustling. I mean, I'll give you for an example right now. Okay, so Christmas time, I come from a Mexican family. Okay, as you can probably see with this.
You're brown?
No, my fists, because we're fighters.
Did you know you're brown? Dude, did you know brown? I'm not blind, I'm brown.
I'm not blind, I'm brown. And my aunt makes tamales.
That's badass.
And she sells them for a lot of freaking money.
That's badass.
She's
man.
just killing it. And she thinks she's not, but I know she is. Okay. So, but that's a side hustle. She
Yeah.
does it every single year. And if she, I don't know, I'm not going to tell her. I'm not going to tell you IRS what her name is. But she makes a lot of money during this season. And if she files it on her taxes, guess what she gets to use that money for every single year if she files it for the last 2 years? Buying a house.
Yeah, side hustle money.
Yeah, so she probably makes an extra 10, 20 grand.
Well, let me
in
tell you,
December,
this is
every
something
year.
People ask us a lot because they're like, "Hey, listen, what if I made a whole bunch of money and then I went on unemployment for 6 months, and then I made a whole bunch of money and I went on unemployment for 6
People
months?"
do that all the time.
This is like, we live in LA, so there's actors out here, and there's people, there's sound producers, there's people that hold the mic, there's background people. The way that business works is you go in and you make a lot of money for about 3 or 4 or 5 months, and then you're unemployed, so you'll actually claim unemployment for 3 or 4 or 5 months, and then you go back to work. Well, because we do actors and we do, sound stage people and cinematographers and whatever, we actually calculate how that money works. And if we can prove that you've been doing it for 2 years, hot shots. We did a hot shot one time. That's a guy who jumps in to the fire when there's forest fires. And for like 6 months out of the year,
Those guys
they
are
kill
insane.
it.
Those guys
They
are insane.
kill it. And then they don't work. During the winter, not a lot of forest fires.
You know what they're doing?
What they're doing?
They're rucking. They're sleeping outside.
Yeah.
They're chopping wood. They're crazy dudes,
They're
man.
crazy dudes, man. Those are crazy. But they make a lot of money for about 6 months. They jump into the fire. They're like, "Hey, it's a fire. Cool. I got a parachute. See, I got a shovel."
You know what? Put me where I can't get out.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
I got a parachute,
From
a
the top.
shovel, and then a silver screen in case it actually takes over me. I'll dig a hole and let it go over me. Literally, that's their game plan. No kidding, that's their game plan. So anyway, these guys make a fortune for about 6 months, and then they don't make any money. Can we qualify them for a loan? You bet you. We sure as heck can. But people who make tamales on the December, if they make a killing and they report it and they do it 2 years in a row, done.
Yep. Buying a house.
So these are little ways to figure out how to get more and more and more. So one of the primary ways is obviously,
This is our way.
follow us here.
TikTok.
Yeah, follow us here. Follow us here. We're trying to build our following so that we can show people how to make.
Show people how. Well, the gist of this is because we identified that people can't buy houses. We're calling people across the nation, realizing that they make decent income, but not enough to buy the houses at the prices they're currently at, and they're going up. So if 38% of people today are side hustling, what do you think it's going to be next year? And what do you think it's going to be the year after that? And what do you think it's going to be the year after that?
Hey, Wreckage, if you're thinking about starting a side hustle, really talk to us. But it's not easy. It's not, hey, set it and I make a whole bunch of money. There's work involved. There's education involved. You have to do some stuff. Sometimes I'm like, dude, why are we doing this? We make a commission here. We make a commission there. But I don't know if it's worth. And the truth is, it's a business. You have to lean into it. And we have one mentor that we follow. How much did she make last month?
Well, not last month, but in 1 week last month, $40,000.
$40,000.
So factor this, and she's only been doing it for about 14 months now.
Something like that.
14
yeah.
months. Okay,
Yeah.
so factor this: from zero, 14 months later, she made $40,000 in a week.
In a week.
Okay, now you go to school to become an attorney, 7 years, to become a doctor, 10 years, and then maybe after that, you're making $250,000 a year. This woman in 14 months made $40,000 in 1 week.
Now, there's some people that I follow, and I've been watching these guys. Like, the first one I really followed, a guy named was PewDiePie. Now, PewDiePie is this gamer. And I have a son, 24 years old. He's actually off military, very proud of him. But he used to play games. And I'm like, dude, you're wasting you shouldn't be playing games. You need to get out there and do things and become, valuable and learn how to play ball and get some skills and stuff
Are
like
you talking
that.
about the special service? I mean, the special, what is it?
Let me finish
Special
the story.
Forces guy?
Yeah, the Special Forces guy. Special Forces guy. Yeah, my son, the Special Forces guy. So anyway, I tell him, hey, you got to go do all this stuff. And he's like, Dad, I like playing games. All right, cool. Then a little later, I found this guy called PewDiePie. PewDiePie that year made $11 million playing video games. And I sat there and I went, how do you make $11 million? So I dug into it. And what happened is he built a profile, and then all these kids from across the globe would watch him play the video games. I don't know exactly what he did, but he built a brand on it. And this guy was making, he still makes $11, $20 million a year, something like that. Anyway, the point of it is that because he dug in and he built his brand, he was able to really create something. But he stuck with it, and he kept moving, and he still does. And he's kind of a famous YouTuber, yeah, now. So then this thing happened with Charlie DeMille. You know who Charlie DeMille is?
I heard him.
Charlie DeMille. You heard him? Okay, cool. Well, him is a her.
Yeah, I heard about her
him
too.
is him is a her, and she made $7 million the first year TikTok was around.
Does she know she has a guy named?
And yeah, she probably don't matter. She don't care. Anyway, she made $7 million, and what she did was just dance, not even like X-rated stuff, just like normal. And she got a giant following.
I've been doing that for years. No one follows me.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, she made $7 million. So then we see these people like Meg, who does makes a fortune. Well, she leaned in, perfected her craft, and now she's making. My guess is $20,000 to $50,000 a month. Now that seems like impossible money. It does seem like impossible money. But trust me, from somebody who pulls credit and does income on people and has made a lot of money, $50,000 is a doable month in a lot of industries.
Well, let's be realistic then.
Yeah.
What about an extra $50,000 a year?
$50,000 a year is doable, but you have to lean in, man, and it's not easy. It's never easy. Actually, if you'll listen to Meg, when she talks about it, she talks about how hard it was for the first probably 6 months, how she wanted to quit and she didn't want to do anything. And it's just crazy. It's crazy to watch how this happened, and then boom, she took off. There's another one that I follow. Her name's Jordan. Love Jordan. And she helps me out every now and then. And she probably makes 10 grand a month. 10 grand a month on the side hustle, and she's a stay-at-home mom. That's what she does. I mean, her primary job is take care of her kids. And then she makes 10 grand a month, and she's like, that's pretty amazing. One of our favorite friends is a loan officer. Her name's Toby. Hey, Toby, if you're watching, hi. So Toby says, hey, listen, my goal here as a loan officer is to get my husband to stop doing his construction job because it's dangerous. And I want to be able to make enough money. Toby got big enough as a loan officer to just say, hey, listen, you quit and help me with my job. And I think, I don't know, I haven't talked to her in a while, but Toby did that. And I'm very proud of that story because you can, in an industry, lean in and make a ton of money. Rakesh, if you want to do it, there's either our link at the top of our profile. You can follow it. Call us. We'll walk you through it. We'll help you. It's not easy. We'll tell you right up front. It's not easy. It's not set it and forget it. If you're not willing to give 1 hour a day, one honest hour a day, don't do it. If you are willing, do it.
Here's the other thing. So, are you comfortable right now? Like, are you comfortable? Like, are things well? Like, you got enough money to pay your bills? You got food in the fridge? Roof over your head? If you're comfortable, you're screwed. You're going backwards. Mm-hmm. Literally, screwed, going backwards. Now, if you're uncomfortable and you're trying to figure stuff out and you're trying it every day and you're getting a little inch here, not making a whole lot of ground, but the next day another inch here, in 1 year, you will be a success. So those of you that are comfortable, call it quits.
Good enough is the enemy of great.
There it is. So those of you that are actually trying, you're going to get it, guys. Just don't stop trying. Keep climbing, keep digging, keep doing whatever it is you're doing in any side hustle or business. Because once you get comfortable, done.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
Because I've been there.
You've been on both sides, huh?
Dude, I've been on
struggling.
I remember probably 15 years ago and cashing fat checks and thinking, it's fine. And then, zero.
Zero.
I was comfortable.
So you've gone to broke?
I've gone to broke. I've gone upside down, man. Here's zero. I went, boo.
I've literally gone above $1 million and then back to broke 3 times in my life. Above $1 million and back to broke.
It happens.
Three times
It
in my
happens.
life. 3 times. And
But it only
Yeah.
happens when you don't prepare for it. It only happens because you didn't do something to try to offset it. And that's why we're pushing this so hard, because you can offset it. You can buy a house. You can do a lot of things, and this helps you and us.
And you have to be a long game player. There's a book out, and it says, it's real simple. It says, hey, finite players play to win. Infinite players play to keep playing. Okay, so how does that work? Finite players play to win. Well, the guy that, like, you're talking about commissions, you're going to come in and be a realtor. Well, if you come in and you just say, hey, I'm a realtor, and you don't actually build the book, and you don't care about service, you don't care about clients, you'll probably make money in year 1, year 2, and then you're done. Because people won't, they know you don't care. But if you dig in and you do it correctly, and you don't do it just for the commissions, and you build a reputation, and you build a book of business of friends, it's a gigantic relationship business, and you do it correctly, before you know it, you're like, oh, I forgot about that person. They sent me their cousin. Oh, I forgot about that person. But you have to actually care about these people. And and caring about the people and trying to make money are sometimes diametrically opposed, because that means, hey, I got to kick in commissions. I know realtors who kick in their commission all the time. They're still killing it in this market. Even in this ugly market, they're killing it. They're doing great. So if you're a finite player, you're trying to make commissions real quick. I'm trying to make my 100,000 this year. Okay, cool. If you're an infinite player, you're like, I may not make as much, but I'm going to really do good for this client, and I'm going to do good for this client. Before you know it, you start growing more and more and more and more. And that's a big deal. If you know how to do this correctly, like when we put our guidelines out on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, we have people coming at us left and right telling us, hey, you're wrong, you can't do this, here's the way you can do this. We literally have people coming out at us. And when people ask us, how do you pick a good loan officer? I'm gonna say, hey, listen, if they're good enough and brave enough to put it out on the internet so that people can come at them, then they're probably pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's like this. If you live in SoCal, Larry H. Parker got me $2.1 million.
Yeah.
Do you know that one?
Yes.
Okay, so he's a accident attorney in SoCal, and he's been on commercials since I was a child. I mean, literally been on commercials. And he's not afraid to go on camera and said, I will fight for you. I will make you money. The insurance companies are going to screw you, but I'll win for you. He wasn't afraid to do that. Probably the most successful attorney in California.
Yep.
Probably.
Well, sweet
because
James.
Because he's not afraid to put it out there.
Yeah. And we're not either, because we have people coming at us. 5.75%. That is the interest weights.
That's the interest
rates. That's the interest rates today on the New American Funding website. The way you get there is real simple. Go to our profile, go to other cool stuff, and then click there, and you'll see today's interest rates. Other cool stuff, today's interest rates. By the way, that's the quote that New American Funding is putting out to the internet. It is not my quote to you. In order for me to get a quote to you, I got to pull your credit, calculate your income, check on your assets, and figure out where you fit. And then I'll give you your quote. But it is probably, just to see it in the 5s is amazing. It's amazing to see that in the 5s. So,
are you slacking, Wreckage? Are you slacking? You're the only one who knows.
Yeah, you're the only one
who knows. We don't know.
Yeah.
If you're giving it 100%, you know.
Have you ever pushed yourself to how good you can actually be? That's a very scary question. There was a time when I was a younger man, I used to run a lot, and I was fast. I was naturally fast. But
with no shoes?
I don't think, no shoes, man. I used to run.
Wow.
I used to run. So I was fast, but I don't know if I ever really pushed as fast as I could possibly push. And that's a little scary. So now when I build my things, I think about that. I say, how much further can I push? Can I actually do things?
Well, here's a question.
Me. Go ahead.
Here's a question. How do you get someone to that full potential? Angie Cam, thank you for joining. Just joined. How can we get a higher credit score higher? Hang tight for about 1 minute. We'll answer that question.
Yeah.
But how do you get a person to meet that line of potential? How do you do that?
First, they have to be willing to admit, am I pushing it or am I doing good enough to get by? And even if I'm better, because I was naturally faster than everybody. Couldn't help it, just naturally faster, especially like in a mile. I could just smoke everybody. And I wasn't even trying. For me, it was effortless. But I feel very bad, and I look back on it now because I probably could have been better. If I pushed myself harder and I just didn't ride my natural talents And I think this happens for, this is pretty people syndrome. The pretty people in the world who just kind of get life handed to them, because life as a pretty person, boy or girl, is different than life as not a pretty person. Because they get a lot of advantages.
Talking about Tom Brady's ex-wife?
She's him too,
Giselle?
dude. Him too.
No, dude. He's on the field getting beat up.
Not anymore.
Well, he's 100 years old.
He's only 30.
He's 100 years old. What do you expect from him? 100 years old in football.
He's only 30.
No, he's 40, like
He's
9.
only 30.
But he's 100 years old in football.
Hey, I'm going to tell you how to get that credit up in just a second. But one thing I want anybody in the credit business, if you're in the credit business and you're good, and we vet you to find out if you're good, I want you to reach out to us, because we get a lot of clients who need help with credit repair. And I'm not happy with the last guy we used. He didn't respond correctly to a couple of situations. So I'm changing my credit repair guy, but I vet you first.
Or girl.
Or girl, yeah. But I vet you. I actually know what's going on, because did you know how big that credit repair industry is? Oh my God. I can't believe how big it is. Okay, so here's the hack. Here's what you've been looking for. Angie Cam. So first thing you need to know is one of the most powerful things that rates your credit is history. So you need a 10-year history of really good on-time payments. Well, wait a minute, Angie Cam. How am I going to get a 10-year history if today is today and I need to wait 10 years? Here's the next thing you need to know, Angie Cam. Credit has no memory. It doesn't know that yesterday you didn't have an account. Why is that important? Why, Angie Cam? Because you're going to go up to your mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, best friend, somebody that's got a really good credit score. And you're going to say, hey, can you add me as an authorized user or an owner? So mom is going to say, why, yes, little Angie Cam, I will add you because you're my favorite little Angie Cam. Aw, you like that? So then, as soon as mom adds you, the next day you're going to have 10 years of paying your credit cards on time, and your credit score is going to spike anywhere between 20 and 80 points. For little Angie Cam. So it's gonna spike between 20 and 80 points that fast. Now, if you do it for multiple trade lines, it will have a bigger effect, but not as big as the first one. The first one's gonna be the biggest effect. Then make sure that your credit cards are below 30% usage, preferably below 10% usage, but must be below 30% usage. And there's two ways to do that. One, you can not spend, or two, you can ask for a credit increase. Because let's say you have a $5,000 credit card and you have $3,000 on it. Well, you can either take $1,200 out of your pocket and pay it down, or call the company and say, hey, can you move that up to 10 grand? And if you have a good credit score and they move it up to 10 grand, boom, you're right at 30% without actually costing you any money. It will be a credit hit, but you will quickly recover from the credit hit. Any other advices?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm not shooting at Angie right now. I'm just talking to everybody.
All right, cool.
If you have crap credit, do credit repair now. Do it now. Hop in it. If you need to know where to go, we'll send you to our reliable sources. Yeah, and the reason why is because if you're not ready to buy a house right now, that's fine. At least have good credit so that when you are ready, you can get that house. Or if you need to buy a car, or if you need to get a credit card. Good credit is necessary, guys, or if you're just going to rent. So I'm not trying to sell you a mortgage. I'm trying to say get good credit. If you don't have it, get in touch with us. We'll steer you in the right direction so you can have good credit. And then maintain it. All you have to do is maintain it from there. You don't have to do much. Just pay your bills on time. Like you said, keep your balances low. Don't live outside of your means. Everything will be fine.
So Angie Cam, don't have credit cards. All my previous collection accounts were medical after my accident. So a couple things. One, medical does affect your credit score. The good news is when we do a loan, we can ignore medical collections. But that doesn't fix the challenge of having low credit. So you do need credit. You need to borrow money so that you can show that you pay it back on time. There's ways to do it. There are ways to do it. First thing you need to do is have credit cards. You do need credit cards. When we do a loan, we usually want 5 trade lines, 5 of them. One of them can be an automobile, student loan, and 2 or 3 credit cards. That usually does it. And then there's these weird little finger hut credit cards that show up. There's get it out. Did I say that right? Curaçao, get it out, whatever it is. That these little credit stores that they'll just open up their own trade line for you, and they'll help you grow your credit. But don't max it, and don't use it irresponsibly. Because remember, credit isn't your ability. It's your willingness. Because even when people are on downtimes, if they show, hey, listen, I made a partial payment, that counts. It all counts. They're watching. Cool.
Dang, Angie Cam. She said, then I signed a 1-year apartment lease for a friend, and they abandoned it after 3 months.
Angie Cam,
tough one.
We gotta talk. We gotta talk. You can't do that.
Well, here's the thing. If you care about someone and you want to help them, how do you tell them no? Like, that's tough. So Angie was put in a tough spot. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't blame you, but I will help you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And want to hear a funny story?
Tell me.
Actually, it's piggybacks on what you just said. I couldn't afford to pay $1,500 a month on top of my bills. Yeah, it gets tough, Angie. So here's what it is. So Lee just said, "Gotta go!" right now. And how that came about is about, I don't know, 10 years ago, I was dealing with this one buyer, and I'm like, hey, man, you don't qualify. He's like, why? I was like, because this debt popped up, and I don't know if you know it's yours. And he said, what is it? And I said, it's from Caraco. And he's like, I don't have a debt to Caraco. I'm like, well, that's what it says. And he's like, all right, let me investigate. So he went to investigate. He's like, I don't have that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, well, for it's this amount. And he's like, how do you spell it?
Caraco?
And I told him how to spell it. And he's like, oh, you mean Curaçao. And I'm like, oh, what is that? He's like, it's a furniture store. And I'm like, oh. And then after the fact, I seen it on everyone's freaking credit.
Everyone.
It's one of those department stores that will give anybody credit.
Everyone.
And I guess people go there to try to build their credit. So if you guys need to build your credit, Curaçao will give you some credit, from what I understand.
Me and my buddy when I moved to LA for the first time. My buddy says, yeah, meet me on the corner of this and Labrie. And I said, where's Labrie?
They don't have that street here.
I'm like, he's like, no, it's right. It's Labrie. It's a very famous street. I'm like, yeah, what?
Show me.
And I hadn't lived here, so I didn't know it was La Brea.
Yeah,
It was La Brea. Oh, no, better yet. Oh, probably a week later, he's like, yeah, it's on the corner of Yosemite and this.
Yosemite.
And I'm like,
Yosemite?
Yosemite? Took me a while to figure out that, all these things. Yeah. Anyway, get a cow.
All
get a
things
cow.
count all the
yeah,
time?
we'll teach you how. Yeah. So
Isn't down payment assistance fund exhausted?
Good question.
Yeah, great
Angie
question.
Cam.
Great
Look at you
Great question.
doing some homework. Where you at? What city and state? Angie Cam. So if you're in California, there's a program called the Dream for All program. It opened up last year. And it got exhausted fast.
1 week later.
Yeah, it exhausted fast. Between 7 and 12 days, depending on who you listen
Paso
to.
Robles.
So
you don't need down payment
California.
assistance.
Yeah, you need down payment assistance.
No, she doesn't.
That's big money.
Yeah.
Paso Robles is big money.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't know this, but the houses in Paso Robles,
Millions.
not cheap. Not views.
Right on the cliff.
The views,
Right on the cliff.
amazing.
Ocean.
Amazing. Anyway, so Cal Haffa has a normal program that rarely runs out of money. But they do change the guidelines. Right now, I can do a Cal Haffa on anybody if they qualify because we have the money. Yep, 700,000. What you're talking about is probably the specific programs, and there's a new one called the Dream for All program that just got reignited. $200 million coming out. $200 million. State of California will give you up to 10% down. 10%. I'm sorry, 20, thank you. 20, up to 20% down, thank you. I don't know where it came from. So up to 20% down. So if you're buying a $500,000 house, they'll give you $100,000. But here's the catch. They're not giving it to you. They're like, keep it warm for me. And then I want it back. But when I get it back, I want interest.
And half of all that you made.
Yeah, half of all that you made. So what they do is they say, hey, listen, you're buying a $500,000 house? Okay, here's $100,000, 20% down. Here's $100,000. Cool. All right. And you're like, gee, state of California, thank you for the $100,000. You're so wonderful and nice. And then they say, oh yeah, by the way, when you sell that, we want $100,000 back. Wait a minute, state of California. I thought you were giving it to me. Oh, no. We're not giving it to you. We're helping you get into the house. Well, you're still nice, state of California. We like you very much. So thank you. Hold on. I want that with interest. Wait a minute. So you want your 100 grand back with interest? Yeah. Well, state of California, I guess you're still nice. Thank you very much. Oh, wait. I'm not done with the terms. I also want the appreciation that you got on that house. So wait a minute, state of California. You want your 100 grand back plus interest plus appreciation? Yes, that's exactly what we want. Okay, state of California. Thank you.
How is this not loan sharking? How is this not loan sharking?
Anyway, that's a real program, and those are real
So let me
terms.
get this
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
Gavin
and you have to
Newsom.
stand in line. And you have to stand in line.
Gavin Newsom wants you to stand in line.
Yeah.
He wants you to take some of his money to make you more money, and then when he wants it back, he wants that money plus half of whatever you made. And he's still not solving homelessness. He's still not solving traffic or smog or water or all the challenges that California has. And all you guys still vote for him?
Don't worry about that. He's gonna be president in no time.
Ooh.
Nah.
As you can see, I'm not a fan.
That's a scary thought. That's a scary
The
thought.
more wineries they build, the more the houses go up. You're right, Angie.
Dude, we have a loan officer colleague of ours who worked in Temecula. And we've been watching the growth of people. And in Temecula started with some wineries. And then all of a sudden, they got the winery flu, man. Everybody had a winery. And they're nice. They're not like low-end wineries. They're like big money coming in. Big money. Big money. And then before you know it, our colleague in Temecula is not just doing well, like killing it, like crushing it, like making top loan officer across the country because he's working only the Temecula area. And that's what happens when you get that kind of money come in. So famous people, how many, name drop. If they're famous, you can name drop. That's public usage. You know that? Once you become famous and you become a public.
That's why everyone talks about me.
Yeah, that's right. That's the reason that they can use your likeness anywhere. Anywhere. Anywhere.
So what's this name drop thing? What's the big deal?
I don't know. She said there's a lot of famous people coming in. So I remember when I was in Santa Fe, when Gene Hackman bought a house right down the road.
Josh Brolin.
Oh, dude.
Freaking
Men in
Josh
Black.
Brolin.
I think it's one of his best roles.
He was in Men in Black?
Yeah.
I liked him in American Gangster. And Goonies.
I like the Men in Black. He was
You didn't like him in Goonies?
He was all right, but Josh Brolin played Tommy Lee Jones young.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
He did, and
You're
I
right.
thought he did it really because he really nailed Tommy Lee Jones's mannerisms, and I was like, Josh, super credit, man. You did great. Yeah, when those guys get money, they come in and they forget what it's like to live in the real world when you get to that level. And I know because have you been at the level where you're like, I don't care what things cost, you just buy them?
Yeah, I was there once.
I was once. We'll get back. In the meantime, we're still hustling and doing loans.
And side hustling.
And side hustling. Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. So are we getting close to it?
In time.
Okay. So 5.75 on the New American Funding website. 5.75. If you don't believe me, I want you to go to our profile pic where it says other cool stuff. Click that, and the link and the interest rates will be there.
Those of you from California, I want to know what you guys feel about how you guys feel about California, because I'm in California. So if you're out of state, I don't really know what you're talking about. But those of you in
I
California,
can tell you what the
give me
people
your
out of state
thoughts.
think about California.
All right, of course. People, if you leave the U.S. to another country, I'll tell you what they think about the country.
They think about California, man. And most people out of California are like, ew, California on purpose? Is it permanent? Ew.
I think those are haters.
I don't know.
I think those are haters.
I don't know. Alex Trebek.
What?
Had a whole mountain and a half, 100
Really?
resources. Alex Trebek.
Rest in peace, Alex.
Yeah, that's a whole mountain. Can you imagine being like that level of rich and then you're like, you know
I
what
don't
the
know
guy
if I'd
from
want it.
Friends, the guy who just died, who is it? The guy who just died
Matt
from
LeBlanc?
Friends? Matt LeBlanc. No, not Matt LeBlanc.
Okay.
Perry. Matthew Perry. Yeah, Matthew Perry just died. Do you know how much he made each season of Friends?
I think they hit 2 million, right?
$2 million an episode. You know how many episodes in a season? 30.
How many seasons?
Dude, 2 million times 30 is what?
Mega rich.
60 million in the year?
Mega rich.
You know what his house was worth in LA? It was probably worth 13 million. 13 million is only 3 months pay.
That dude
1
was
year.
cheap.
1 year. That's one of the longest running series. Those guys are.
They're
so when you
all
hit that
ballers,
level, yeah,
man.
when you hit that level, it's crazy. But I don't know if I'd like that guy's life, man. He had a rough life. I feel for him, man.
Was it rough?
He
What was
tried
rough about
really. Well, he was a he had addiction problems.
Oh.
And his whole thing was like, he even said, hey, listen, if you remember me as an actor, thank you. I did some solid work. I appreciate that. But that's not what I really want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered for breaking my addiction, getting over it, and helping other people break the addiction.
What was he addicted to?
I think it was alcohol. Yeah. And he was just, it's a very heartbreaking story. And the dude died at like 53, man. 53 with hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. And wow, just wow. So when I hear like Alex Trebek had a whole mountain and a half up in.
Well, how long was that fool working for?
Making bank. Dude, can you imagine that? That is his work. If we all we had to do is come in and do this 1 hour a day, and we make $50 million a year
for the next 50 years.
I would be like, hey, bro, good to see you again.
Good morning.
I hate your guts today, but I don't care.
I don't know. My life's great.
100 million. California, Paso Robles in Crendon. Hey, 5.75% rate on the New American Funding website today. Great interest rates.
Creston.
Best we've seen in a very long time. They were quoting in the 8s for a while. In the 8s. And now, 5.75 on the New American Funding website.
So if you guys are waiting for the crash, you're going to be waiting a long time.
It ain't going to happen.
If you guys are waiting for the rates to hit the rock bottom, don't wait for that either.
Ain't going to happen either. I don't think so. I could be wrong.
It's going to go to its lowest, but all that's going to happen
is
you're going to pay the highest.
What do you think the lowest is?
I think we'll hit high 4s.
4.99 or 4.875? Maybe 4.75?
Above 4.5. Everything's going to be above 4.5.
Considering we're here.
Well, there
is a perfect file.
So most people are going to hit probably mid sixes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, most people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 points down still. And if you're talking about 2 to 2.5 basis points, according to the Fed, falls in line with that.
Houses used to be 120 grand. Now they're 1.2 million. Mm-hmm. That is crazy. And I got news for you, Ange Cam. I got news for you. As soon as the rates go down, that 1.2 million, you're going to be saying, remember we could get a house for just a mere 1.2 million? Now everything is
10.2.
10.2 million. Yeah.
Okay. Gas when you were a kid, how much do you remember? Lowest you remember?
57 cents.
I remember $1.
Okay, 57 cents.
Okay. How much is it today?
$4.12 probably.
And that's at Costco.
Yeah, at Costco.
And that's at
$4.12.
Costco.
Yeah, $4.12. Yeah.
So
$5 for most places. Yeah.
So what is that? 10 times?
Yeah.
8 times?
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Houses, same thing.
Yeah.
Houses,
same thing. Yeah, same thing. So if you invest in a house, like there's someone in here who was just talking about investing in a house.
RPA just in.
RPA. We got another RPA. Yay!
Gotta go, guys.
Residential purchase agreement. That means we got another home in escrow. Escrow means we help people get a house. We want to help you get a house, but we're wrapping up here for today. If you like what we're doing, comment, share, apply on our link. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Twitter? No, not Twitter.
YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Those 4, that's where we go live. We actually do have a Twitter. We have a
podcast.
Rumble. We got a podcast. We got a bunch of stuff going. But anyway, we are here to help you get that house. We've been Chris and Lee. We appreciate you.
Chris.